Now I have 3 sheets on, and what I plan to do is not to allow any water at all to get on any exposed particle board. Therefore, I'm going to take my caulking gun. You want to buy some good caulk. They have your cheap caulk, they have your run-of-the-mill caulk, and then they have your better caulk. But anymore, to tell you the truth, as a painter with thousands of or hundreds of hours of caulking, I've found that the price of the caulk stays the same, the amount stays the same, but due to the fact of inflation and everything else, they water this shit down. And the cheaper caulk has more water in it. You have to be a much better caulker to know how to use that. The more expensive caulk goes on a lot easier, like Big Stretch, but it's $5 a tube compared to say like $2.50 or $3 a tube. But you've got to know how to use it, or otherwise you're wasting your money. Now what I've done here is I've purposely left a gap right here so that I can get the caulk down in there. I could have butted these 2 pieces together just tighter than hell, but I left just a little bit of gap so I can get the caulk in there. And I'm going to give you one of my little tricks on caulking. If you really want to do a good caulking job, do it twice. Remember, the caulk has water in it. It's water based. The water evaporates, but matter can neither be created nor destroyed, as I've learned in physics, which means if 10% of your water or your caulk evaporates, then your caulk shrinks. So what I like to do is I like to get them real deep into these little crevices here and put it on real good, and then tomorrow I'll come and I'll do a finish coat on it. Now, if you're in production painting, no one does it twice. They don't have time. And a lot of times, painters don't know how to caulk, or they just aren't any good at anything. If you are having a painter do your work, whether you're in the UK or Barbados or Brisbane, where I want to go, or anywhere around the world, if the painter knows how to use a caulking gun, then he knows how to paint. If he doesn't know how to use that gun and put the caulking on there correctly, walk away, run away. That's the first thing you can tell. Then what I'll do is I'll go and I'll get all these edges right down in here. Can't get there's the sunshine that's on there. I'll get all these really well, and when I go to do my oil prime, I will oil prime these plates here. They're not the ideal plates that I want to use, but they'll work for what I want. And I'll do all that twice. And all the plastic over here, this plastic will be turned in to the building, and it will be tacked down with my hammer stapler before I go to cut the finished pieces that go here. There'll be one that goes up to here and this line, and there'll be another one that goes all the way across to the end here, and then there'll be another piece that goes there. So now I'm going to put the first layer of caulk on, and when I get done with all the screws are set in. They're barely below the surface, but what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of caulk on them and I'll go like this just to fill them in. It's called taking the shine off. Taking the shine off your nails or things like that. In a professional painting, if you're doing construction, all painters will hit every nail or every screw with their hands, and they'll put a little bit of caulk over it to seal it, take the shine off. If they don't do it, well, run away. There's a lot of people that are called painters. They don't know jack shit, but they're still charging you $40 an hour. So if you're ever gonna have any painting done, ask the painter some questions, some hard questions, how they do things. Because a lot of them will go as fast as possible and put as little on as they can and charge you the full price, and they won't even throw in a bucket of Vaseline that big after they've screwed you in the ass. So that's just my advice tip of the day. I'm going to caulk this part in right now. Then I'll cut my other pieces and stick them on either tonight or tomorrow. It's pretty, see how hot it is here. It's 90 degrees. I don't know how many Celsius that is. I'm lost, completely lost with Celsius. They go, oh God, it's hot, it's 25 degrees. 25 degrees here is like when you take a leak and it freezes in the midair. Okay, now on to caulking.